football playoff, kind of just like the NCAA tournament in basketball, also talking about an expansion. There was a proposal to expand to 24 teams, and there are some conferences that are on board and some that aren't on board. But what do you guys think of kind of the expansion?
Stupid,
So,
stupid, stupid.
okay. Thank you, Wesley. Um, I grew up in an FCS state, so I've kind of just the 2014 playoff has kind of just become a part of the playoffs for me. Like that's
Mm,
what I watch more of. So I think I have a unique viewpoint on this in the sense that I'm not fully against it, but when you really read between the lines on this, it's the same thing as expanding the NCAA tournament. The Big Ten and the NCC and the whatever, they want more money, and so they want their worst teams to get in. And is it well intentioned? No, but do I think it would be a horrible choice? Also, no, because I've watched more FCS playoffs than I can count, and especially this past year was a perfect example. You had like the perfect amount of upsets, and you obviously had Illinois State go on this insane run,
mm,
and
mm.
you're not getting that in a 12 team or a 4 team. That's just not
Right.
happening. So
Uh,
I don't think it's
who?
all bad, but it's also not
It's
great. It's not for the right reasons.
it's an
Wait, who
interesting.
won? Who won the FCS
Okay.
playoffs again?
I am so glad you asked. I really am. And for that reason, I'll be wearing this for the rest of the show.
And Wes has walked out of the call completely. So I guess
All
I'll
right, we
keep
can do the show
talking.
without him.
Okay.
Yes, Wes,
As
continue.
I'm gonna get away from the childish behavior of my co-host here. So the Big Ten, the ACC, and the Big 12 and Notre Dame are all on board. It's the SEC that's not sure, is still trying to decide. And I believe SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey has said that he wants to just keep it at 16, not keep it, but expand to 16. And there's some other people in the SEC thinking about 24. I mean, it's just like a money grab, and it's also a um, just for the programs. I mean, Brett Bielema, head coach at Illinois, had a rare L when he said he wants to include, quote, as many teams as humanly possible.
Mm.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Sounds like a
that's
guy
just
with Bobby Hauck on staff.
okay. It's
Sounds like a very
like
grisly thing to
I
say.
get the coaches because the thing is Illinois has missed the playoff a few times in recent years where they were good but not quite good enough. Like last year, they were a potential playoff team, and then they really fell apart toward the end of the season. A couple years before that, but and obviously 2 years ago when they had the game against South Carolina, that was probably the best college football game I've ever watched. But it's like, of
Son,
course,
Shane Beamer.
yep. But of course, teams that just miss a playoff are going to be like, "Oh, expand it and we'll make the playoff." But I don't
Right.
think that's valid reason to expand. It's just because these teams have missed it and they want a better shot. Because to me, I think FBS football is a sport where like there aren't even 12 teams, honestly, that have a realistic shot at winning the national championship. So to double that, you're just and I've seen this argument before. I'm definitely glad they expanded it from four because four was ridiculous. But the argument was like, don't expand it because people say, you know, like these teams are going to have a shot at winning the national championship, but just let them play the games just because it'll be good to have the games. It's like that's just a bowl game. These are just
Right.
glorified bowl games when it's teams playing in the first round of the playoff when they have no shot at winning the national championship.
I mean, sure. I was gonna bring up kind of that point of the four-team playoff as well. Like there's, I guess, the aspect of the four-team playoff, excuse me, that has like, oh, it's ultra competitive, like anyone could win it. Sure. But I think I totally agree. It was the right move going to the 12 because and then going to the 16 as well.
All they had,
Um
but
well, but like if they go
yeah.
to the 16, that is. But I think 16 would be good. 12 was good. We saw 12. I thought it was pretty good. There is definitely, to your point, Wes, there is definitely this kind of gap, especially with NIL and college football being so apparent. Like, there's always going to be, I think, four, five, six programs that are just so far above everyone else. You
Yeah,
know, in a lot of years,
sorry.
Texas Tech.
That's on my
No,
throat. Sorry.
you say Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, true. They could be really
Still
good.
can't get it too, though,
Yeah.
in any sport.
It's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah,
Not
ASU will find a
football,
way.
not men's basketball, not
ASU
softball.
finds a way. Not women's tennis.
Oh, everybody's
Sure. Yeah.
thinking about
Yeah,
that
we'll
too.
count that.
Yeah,
We'll throw it.
exactly. Shout out
Okay.
women's
I will.
tennis. Hey,
I
wait.
wanna
I
go.
wasn't done. Wait, let me
Fine.
finish
Okay.
my point. Let me finish my point. Anyway, we got sidetracked. But you know, is always going to be those top teams that don't give me that face that have
Well,
that skill gap. You know, the Ohio States, the Georgias, the Alabamas, right? Those teams that will be so much better than everyone else. But I think the 16 and the 12 would be good because there is the realm of possibilities for upsets. Like it's possible. It still has that competitiveness, but I think going to 24, you would lose that competitiveness a little bit. You know, you would have these first round matchups that, as Wes said, would be super glorified bowl games. Because if you throw Ohio State up against some bottom Big 12 school or some low ranked seed, like Ohio State's going to kill them. Like,
Yeah.
hey,
it's not,
I want
it's
to go
not
back to
fun.
what both
No
of you
one
said
is going to
now,
want to watch
actually.
that.
So
Yeah.
first of all, I want to go to Wesley. You said that those first round games would be glorified bowl games. So are you saying that Illinois State versus Southeast Louisiana in the first round of the FCS playoffs was a glorified bowl game this year?
I mean, I think FCS is just different than FBS. When you get in,
It's not. There's been what, like 5 teams to win the national championship in the last 15 years.
yeah.
Sure.
That's the exact same thing that FBS is dealing with, and yet the
Yeah.
FCS has 24 and it works perfectly.
But it was like the first time ever, maybe that not quite, but that an unseeded team made it to the national championship. Like, are we gonna ruin the playoff every single year for one Cinderella story every century?
Yeah, I see where you're coming from on that, but like what Xavier said, like yeah, sure, Ohio State probably beats, you know, who's a good example team here?
Like
Illinois.
I
Ohio
agree.
State probably beats
I agree.
Illinois 95 times out of 100 on
Yeah.
like a neutral site, let alone in Columbus. But like, you know, North Dakota State probably beats Illinois State 99 out of 100 times in Fargo. You know, that's kind of how the way you have to look at this is like they're they're gunning for more upsets. And like as a college basketball guy and also as someone who grew up in, you know, staunch FCS country, you know, I'm not fully against it, but I do agree that it's kind of a cash grab. It's just that I don't think the minds of everyone are in the right place. And maybe that's just because I think they ruined March Madness, but I don't think it's for the right reasons, but I also don't think it would be as bad as people on social media or maybe you two think it
Yeah.
would be. I feel like it wouldn't like kill the sport like maybe 76 teams is going to do.
Right.
I
And I will say, though, something I think as well in terms of the college
not
football
competitive.
playoff, but something I will say is like, why are you rushing this? It has been
Yeah.
2 years of the
Yeah.
12-team playoff. Like, give it a little bit. Like, let, the 12-team playoff play out a bit. Like, see how it works. If it doesn't work, sure, expand it a little bit. But you literally just started the 12-team playoff. There's no reason to keep pushing and pushing and pushing for more teams right away. This can be a
well,
slow
there is
process.
a reason.
There is, but
Money.
I mean, it's a money grab.
Yeah.
Like, I think they need to
Mhm.
think
Just-
about it from a kind of perspective of
Okay, this is just a college athletics issue of like
Yeah,
we
it
need to get the money out of the game because it's getting
Right.
egregious.
Mhm.
How much that just dictates everything. And I mean, maybe it's like, welcome to the, real capitalist world. But like, it wasn't this way until 7 years ago, or
Right.
whenever it was, the NIL became so big. But I don't think that
You
16
got 10.
teams would be as much of a travesty as 24, but I still think it wouldn't be great because like last year you had James Madison in Tulane in Miami. None of those teams were going to do anything, and I think it's just kind of
Miami, you mean the team that was in the national championship?
okay. Yeah, maybe not Miami. That's a bad example, but
True.
Tulane and JMU really. Like, there's no
True.
point to that.
They were good teams, though. They were very good teams. They were great in their conference.
Until they
both
ran
won their
into,
conference.
until they ran into the teams in the playoff.
I mean, I agree. I think that's why they should. I mean,
Okay,
at
we're done.
least
Got it.
wait to think about the 24th.
Yeah.
Yeah.